Alright, here we have Mickey. I was going to use the real baby, but I only have one hand. So I figure using a little doll will help get a better idea of different methods for getting a good fit. So Mickey's kind of small, and we have a one-size diaper, so you could do this with a wee bums if you have a little baby. You put the baby on the diaper. There's your pedal soaker. And if you have a boy, you want to make sure his little thing is pointing down and as close to the middle as possible, because if it points to the side, you might get wetness on this side and not this side. So as long as it's pointing in the middle, you should get a good flow when they go pee. So if you've got a little baby, you fold, I usually fold the pedal soakers up. You could do it one by one to get as tight to the baby's bum as possible. And with the little one, because it's so little, you want to fold down. Usually I would hold that in place. And then you'll pull up the diaper and you'll pull it as snug as you can, so you're getting a nice snug fit around the legs. And then you'll fold down the top. And then I'm just gonna pull it up, and then we snap it in the snuggest spot that you can on one side. I usually do one side at a time, just one snap. And then let's do this one. Sorry about all the blurriness. I wish I had a contraption to keep this on. And then you could go to the next 2 snaps down, and then 2 snaps down. And then you take this, and because this snap doesn't match up, you could either let it sit on there, or you could try and, depending on the size of your baby, you could try and pull it on over a little bit more. I could have gotten a better fit on this one. And even with a one-size diaper, you could still fit a pretty small baby. It'll be a little bulky on a small baby, but with the fold down rise, you can get a pretty decent fit. Now, that said, sometimes people have issues getting a good fit on the waist. It might either be too tight or too loose. So you want to snap those outside snaps to the proper snaps, so that it's nice and snug on the baby and there's no real big gaps on the side. Then from there, if you need to make it tighter, you don't have to go those exact 2 snaps that these inner snaps allow. You could actually stretch it a little bit to go to the 3rd snap if you really wanted to. Or if you needed a little extra space where you didn't need to go to the 2nd snap and then the 4th snap, because these are set to go every other snap, you could just leave that 2nd one undone and just go to the 3rd snap there. You could do that on the other side as well if you needed to. And I occasionally have to do that with my little dude. So that way you're not pulling too tight, but you're still getting that snugness around the waist, because that back snap is snapped as tight as you can get it, and then you're not pulling too snug on the waist, giving them a muffin top, or making it so that they're able to sit down without cutting off their breathing. Now, one other thing that I'm gonna do quick, sorry this is so long and wobbly, it's hard to do with one hand, is some people use a snake soaker. So we'll pretend that's snapped in. If you have a snake soaker and you have a boy, you'd probably want to, let's use Mickey again. I usually pull it up, fold it, hold on, it's a little tangled here. Got to make sure it's flat. And then you'll pull it up snug, and then fold it once. And if your baby's bigger, you could be done with it, or if your baby's a little smaller, you could fold it back up again. problem with that I've issued is that it seems a little bulky in the front. But when you've got a boy, especially a heavy wetter, this is probably the best method. And if you've got a girl, you could do kind of the similar, like an S almost. And that way you're getting the bulk in the middle, where girls usually wet heaviest. The first fold that I did is actually good if you have a girl who's a tummy sleeper as well. So hopefully this you find helpful.